This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. Yesterday, we spoken about what is date and time functions and way to use them exactly. And I have also given an assignment. Okay, please do it by tomorrow and after tomorrow, and submit for review. Okay. So now, today we'll understand what is top n and what is top n%. Am I clear? So what is top n? What is top n%? Let me give you few examples. Select top 3 star from account master table and select top 5% name comma balance from the account master table. So what is the meaning of this? So normally what we do, we use select star from the account master table, right? So when you execute it, you have now only 64 records. But in the real time, in the production service, you will see millions of data in a table. When you say select star from account master table, it is going to get all millions of records and billions of records from the server. What will happen? Because of this command, the server is busy to getting all the data from the hard disk. If you have so much of a data in the hard disk, automatically server will become very slow. Clear? So in your development system or in your computer, you should be allowed to write like this, right? So can you just mute Hemant? Any question? Yeah. So in your own system, you should be able to write like this. But when you join a company in the production systems, when you have the permission to access the production data, you suppose not to, execute this command. It is very dangerous command. Why? When you have millions of data in this table, when you say select star from the table name, you will be able to receive all the data from the server and automatically server will become very slow. Clear? So always you should say, I need only top 10 rows, or I wanted to see top 100 rows, or I wanted to have top 5 rows. Clear? You should not say select star from the account master table. So select star is completely banned in the real-time production service. Remember this. Clear? If you write this kind of a queries in the real time, if your manager says this, then he will fire you like anything. Clear? So remember this forever. So in the production, always you need to restrict the data, say top 10. It is not going to sort the data. Top 10 means first 10 rows will be given. Remember this point. Clear? Top 10 means first 10 rows will be given. If you need a top 40 rows, first 40 rows will be given. It is not going to sort anything. Clear? First 40 rows will be given. So our first 10 rows will be given. If you need only one row, first one row will be given. So whatever you wanted to specify, you can specify. And instead of a star, you can also have the column names, account ID, name, C balance, whatever you wanted to have it, you should be able to have it. Only top 10 rows will be given. So you can restrict number of rows by putting top. Clear? So you can put 10 into bracket or without bracket also it works. There is no issue at all. Clear? So you can say column names or you can also put star. Star means all columns. Clear? So this is very important thing. We should not use select star from any table name. So top n gets the first n rows from the table. Top n will give you first n rows from the table. The next one is a top n%. Okay, gets the first n% rows from the table. For example, I wanted to say select top 10% star from the table name. So what is the how the percentage is calculated? Percentage is calculated based on number of rows in the table. right? So we have 64 rows. 64 divided by into 64 into 10 by 100. Clear? 10% means what? 10 by 100. When you execute it, you will be able to get, say, 6.3, something like this. Or you're going to get 6.4, right? Because you have 64 row. 64 divided by 10 into 100 means 6.4. That will be rounded off to 7 rows. 7 rows will be given it to you. Clear? So total 7 rows we got it. So the top 10 percentage calculation is done based on number of rows available in this table. I have 64 rows into 10%. So 10% means 10 by 100. So 64 divided by 10 by 100 means approximately you're going to get 6.4. Okay, but 6.4 row cannot given. So it'll give you 7 rows, right? Because 6.4 means 6 rows fully, and next row only 40% rows has to be printed. So it cannot print like this. It will print a total 7 rows. Clear? It is going to round it. It's going to round off this percentage value to this value, this decimal value to this. Clear? So you cannot write a percentage symbol. It is not going to work. Clear? So this is invalid query. So compulsorily you can say top 5%. Okay, top 2%. So top 10%, top 100%. Whatever you wanted to write, you can write like this. So top 30% of the rows from this table will be given. Clear? So top 30% means approximately we have you can execute top 30% means 19.2. It is rounding up to 20 rows. Clear? So 20 rows you should be able to see when you execute this query. So 20 rows are given. Clear? So these are very, very important commands that you must use in your real time, you know, when you join the company. You should not write select star from the table name. This is completely dangerous. Why? This command is completely dangerous. When you have millions of data in this table, so it is trying to get all the data from the table. So when you have millions of data in the production environment, your server will become very, very slow. Clear? So if somebody says that you check whether this table has data or not, you always say top 100 or top 10 rows from this table, or top 1000 rows from the table. When you go to database and when you go to iBank, so program, without writing a program also, you should be able to see the number of rows. When you right click on this, when you say right click, see now, select top 1000 rows. Okay, if you wanted to see the data from this table without writing a command, you should be able to read the data. So right click on this, select top 1000 rows. Okay, so it is going to give you this query, select top 1000 and all the column names from the this table. So this is the command will get executed and all the data will be given. So it is also restricting the data to 1000 only, not more than that. Are you clear? So without writing any kind of a program, if you wanted to see the data, you can right click on any table and you will see a command, select top 1000 rows. It is equivalent to select top 1000 star from this table. Clear? It is very, very important command that you can get it. But I wanted to sort the data. For example, I wanted to sort the data. So sorting means order by class, order by C balance, descending order. I'm going to sort the data and I need first two rows because I'm going to sort the data based on the C balance and I wanted to get top 10 rows. So this is also fine. Okay, you're going to sort the data and after sorting, then you wanted to get a top 10 rows. So first it will go to this from class and after that sorting is going to happen. then it is going to be bringing you only 10 rows from the after sorting. Clear? Or I wanted to get latest data, latest rows. What are the latest rows if you wanted to get it? So you can read the data or the sort the data based on DO, right? So DOO, data of opening an account. I wanted to sort the data like this. See, these are the latest records. So 2021, and after that this is the record. Clear? So based on this you should be able to sort the data. If somebody asks you, I need latest transactions, latest rows, but at least give me some 10, 20 rows. How do you write? So you need to order by, you can use the date and time column and use the descending order. Then you can say top 10 star, or if they need the column names, you can specify the column names as well. So BOO, something like this. So whatever you wanted to have it, you should be able to have it and get the data from the database. Clear? So if you don't mention anything, it is going to get only top 10 rows. Clear? So that is what is very, very important thing to understand. Now, uh, we had seen date part function, right? So this is one more query. Find out month wise number of accounts opened in the year 2011. So how can we use this? So we can use, I need only date part, right? So date part of month wise. So opened in the year 2011. So always, what is the query? You should be able to understand. Select star from the table name, right? So what is that we need? So try to understand query in the year 2011. Blindly, you write where clause. Okay. Date part YYDOO is equivalent to 2011. So why? Because I wanted to get only 2011 data. When you execute it, you are restricted to 33 rows. Otherwise, this table has 64 rows, right? So when you apply 2011, so what is going to happen? It is going to go to DOO. It will take first row and it is going to be verifying whether the year number is 2011 or not. Okay, so it will go to this row and it will pick up only the YY, so that is 2020, and that is matching to 2011 or not. If it is true, then it will get the data, otherwise no. So it is going to be filtering the data. Done. So afterwards, find out month wise. Wise means group by clause. How to get month wise? So you need to blindly write group by. Group by. How to get month wise? Again, date part. I have to get a month from this. Okay, so this will give you month wise data. So you may have January, February, March data, right? So Jan data one side, February data one more side, March data one more side, like that June data one more side. It is going to be grouping. So whatever it is grouping, that group name has to come here as a month number, comma, comma. You need number of accounts. Blindly, you say count star as number of customers. So this is the query. So month name wise, if you need a month number, if you need month name, so you can say date name, right? So you should be able to write date name here. Okay. When you execute it, so this is the data I have it. April, August, February, July, June, March, May. So this is the data I have it. Clear? So I'm going to be using what is called as a month wise the number of accounts opened. But unfortunately, it is not in the proper sorting order. So I wanted to get Jan, Feb, March, April like that. So can I get like this? Can I use order by clause? Order by, when I say first column in ascending order, I'm getting April because A is first, then August is second. If I put to ascending order, so this is going to be sorted. But I wanted to get a data, so Jan, Feb, March, like that. Okay, so how do I do that? So definitely you will not be able to do here with the help of date name, because you cannot sort the data like this. If you wanted to have sorting based on the numbers, so 1 2 3 4 like this, January is 1, February is 2, so you wanted to sort the data based on the month number. Okay, if that is the case, what you need to do, compulsorily you need to add compulsorily you need to add date part, month number as well here, and whatever it is there, it has to be here, otherwise this query will not work, right? So whatever you are going to be adding there, the same thing to be added here. Okay, now you have, now what you do, you are going to be sorting order by first column ascending. Now you see the data, you have February, because January there is no sales. Okay, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. If you don't want to display this data, that is fine. So you can have like this, but now it is properly coming, right? So now it is not, you can do, okay, it has to be there, otherwise you cannot sort the data, right? You cannot sort the data. So if you remove this, you wanted to put this here. Can we? Can, I think we can do like this. Let me remove it from here. I don't want to display the data. I wanted to have this data like this. Now you see, it is February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So it is there in the proper order. So I'm not displaying the data, but I need to put them in. Whatever you have it here, it is there. But whatever it is there, it need not be there, but the better, we can also display the data, so that will be always the better. So then you can have, so I'm going to be sorting based on the numbering. When you sort the data based on the number, then you will be able to see in the proper order. So January is not there, then February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, it is sorted based on this number. Clear? You can also give like this, or you can say the first column, or you can say alias also can be given like this. Alias also can be given. You should be able to get the data like this. Am I clear? So all these things need to be practiced. Find out month-wise number of accounts opened in the year 2011. Display the data based on the month number in the ascending order or descending order. If they say like that, then definitely without a month number, here we have a month number. If you wanted to display month name, you can display, but sorting has to be done with the help of month number only. Clear? Then only you will be able to get, so Jan, Feb, March, like that. Otherwise it is not going to give you the data like this. Now, the next clause we are going to understand today is having clause. Let me give you a query. Product wise number of customers in branch BR1. Let me write this query. Product wise, wise means group by clause. Customers in branch BR1. So select star from the table. I wanted to get data from only branch BR1. So whatever you understand, you write those first. Okay, so you read the data and you'd say in the branch BR1 data, I wanted to have it. So I know that I should apply a vary clause. I have applied the filter because I need customers of branch BR1. So I have these many people, 18 guys from branch BR1, but they need product wise number of customers. So they wanted to group based on this products. Okay, so if you sort the data, order by product ID. So when you sort the data, see, if you sort the data, all the data, so this is one data, it is going to be sorting, it is grouping, it is one group, and you have loan accounts, there are two loan accounts. Okay, Then you have two recurring deposit accounts, three, right? So like that, then you have remaining accounts are completely savings bank accounts. Have you seen this? So this, so group number one, group number two, group number three, group number two, group number three, group number four. So I wanted to group the data, not the sorting. I would like to perform grouping. So based on this, so group by product ID. Okay, group by what? Product ID. So it is going to be grouping. So whatever you're keeping it here, you better keeping it there. And I want to know number of people as a count. When you execute it, it is going to be giving you this data. Have you seen this now? So product wise number of people. So this is the data. It is going to go to account master table. Then it is going to filter all the data. Then within that it is going to be grouping. So how grouping? So fixed deposit data one side, recurring deposits data one more side. Like that it is going to be grouping. Grouping is nothing but sorting only. Some kind of a sorting will happen. Then it is going to be dividing. Clear? Internally, that is how the programmatically it is going to work. So grouping means it is going to sort the data, then it will cut the data into groups. Group number one, group number two, group number three, group number four, and it is going to be counting it. It is going to be counting it. Clear? So you can see product wise, fixed deposit four customers, loan account two customers, recurring deposit three customers, savings bank is nine customers. This is the data I have it. So this is the query and this is the answer. This is the question. This is the answer. Product wise. So it is elimination, grouping by product, then count. How the execution is going to happen? First from clause, then the where clause, then the grouping clause, then the aggregation, then the display. Guys,
Sir,
am I clear?
yeah, what is the count like? It always looks into which column? Like, how do you?
Count star means it is going to be seeing the rows, right? It is going to be
Yeah.
grouping. It is
Uh,
going to see the rows in that group. Clear? So if you wanted to understand, you can understand like this. So it is going to be grouping, right? So you can use order by clause here. So this data is there, right? So you have this data. So this data will be taken. This data will be taken. It is going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Have you seen? It is going to be
yeah.
counting the rows.
So
Now,
because
if
we
you
give
want,
PID, it is counting grouping by PID. If we give
uh,
something else, it will be grouping by that.
that. Now, for example, if you need C balance, for example, instead of a count star, if I write C balance, sum of C balance here, it is going to be summing this value plus this value plus this value plus this value. Clear? So you can also say comma sum of balance. That is also you can write, right? If you wanted to, after grouping, you can say I wanted to write, sum of C balance. Okay, as total. How the things would happen? The things would happen like this only. So it would have grouped the data. So to understand this, you can see order by clause here. So what you do, you take this data first. So this is your data with the help of a given product. Okay. So either you can count. Count means you have first row, second row, third row, and fourth row. If you wanted to perform sum, so you can take this value, take this value, take this value, take this value, sum. And for the second, the next value, for example, let us say SB, you will take all this data, you can count as well as you can also sum these values, right? So this one plus this one plus this one plus one, you can sum this value. So after creating a group, within the group, whatever be the value that is there, either you can count. Count means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or if you want to perform this summing operation on this, you can also sum. Or you can also perform average. So sum can be applied, average can be applied, or maximum can be applied, minimum can be applied,
Yeah.
because you have these values as well in your grouping. Clear? All the data will get grouped. Am I clear?
Yeah, because I thought PID is numbers. I didn't know it shows BR. I mean FD and all that. So I got a little confused. But if we are looking for branch grouping, then we'll do BRD and then do the same procedure.
Whatever you wanted to have it.
Yeah,
Clear?
yeah.
So now order by is similar to group by clause only, but group by clause is going to group the data, and later it is going to be aggregating. Clear, guys? So this is very, very important to understand. Now, so this is the query that I'm going to be showing. Let me remove this. This is quite easy to understand. Now, what is the customer's requirement? It is not the requirement. They're extending the query like this. Provide details if number of customers exceed 5. So they're saying this is the data, they're having it. Let me open Excel, and this is the data, I'm getting it. Okay, so I'm happy about these queries and everything. There is no issue. But the customer is saying if the count is greater than 5, so that is the requirement if you see carefully. If the count is greater than 5, provide details. If number of customers exceed 5, then provide me. So now the actually count is not 5. It is not exceeded. It is not exceeded. It is not exceeded. I have to eliminate these rows, and the final output should be only this. So I need to eliminate these 3 rows, and final output would be only this because it is exceeding 5, right? The count number of customers exceeding 5, after aggregating data, I have aggregated already because counting is done, grouping is done, everything is done. After that they're saying I wanted to again filter the data. So after where clause, grouping is also done, then the counting is also done, you got some numbers. After that I wanted to filter. So after grouping and after aggregation, if you wanted to filter again, so you must use having clause. Having, so what is the column name? Count star greater than 5. Because this got executed and it got executed, it is also counted. After counting only, you'll come to know whether the count is greater than 5 or less than 5. Clear? So if that is the case, you need to apply having count greater than 5. You're able to get the data. But instead of using having clause, you can say, sir, I know if you wanted to apply, if you wanted to filter, then you can also use where clause. If you write like this, then where clause will give you an error. See now, an aggregate may not appear in the where clause. Okay, if you write like this, if you write like this, then it is not going to work. You think that, so I should not give you like this. I can give you a alias. You may think like this also. Okay, count to greater than 5. Will it work? It is not going to work. Clear? So having clause has to be used, having clause has to be used after grouping, and you have aggregated, you have grouped it, you have aggregated. After grouping is done, after aggregation is done, on this column, whichever be the column that you have used for aggregation, on that column you wanted to perform an filtering. Clear? After grouping is done, after aggregation is done, if the count star, so having count star greater than 5, then definitely it is going to be filtering the data. So where clause, having clause, both of them are eliminating rows. So that is the similarity. It is also eliminating the data. It is also eliminating the data. Data means rows. So that is a similarity. But what is the difference between where and having clause? Where clause is going to execute first. So it will go to the table. It is going to be filtering all the data first. Then after that, it is going to be grouping. Then grouping by this. Then aggregation is going to be happening. After aggregation, I wanted to filter something. After aggregation, I wanted to filter something. So that is when having clause going to come. That means if there is no aggregation, or if there is no group by clause, having clause will not come. Remember this. Clear? So where clause is going to be filtering the data before aggregation or before group by clause, having clause is going to be filtering after aggregation or after group by clause. If there is no group by or aggregation, having clause will not come. So remember this at all. Remember this point completely. Clear? So this is a very, very important thing. Clear? So both of them are going to eliminate the data only. What data we're going to eliminate? We're going to eliminate raw data here. So simply you go to the table, you eliminate. I need branch ID equals to BR1. Fine. After that, what are you doing? You're grouping it by PID, then you're counting, then you're saying on this aggregated column, you wanted to filter something. Clear? So this column is not available in the table. So this column is available in the table. This column is not available in the table. This is aggregated column. So on this column, I wanted to filter some data. That means you must use having clause. Otherwise, this is not going to work. For example, instead of this tomorrow, I may have a sum of C balance, okay, as a total balance. Now let me remove this. Okay, so I wanted to get a product wise. I wanted to get, this is the data, but I wanted to see having, if the sum of C balance is greater than 50,000, then show me the data. So aggregated column only I'm using to filter the data. Remember this point. I'm using which column? Only aggregations column have to be there. So having clause should not have, columns like branch ID, product ID. Only 5 columns have to be there. Either sum, min, max, average, count. So you should not have any other columns here. So let me execute the data. So I'm able to get only one row. Or if I execute the data like this, I will be able to get some 3 rows. You can filter a condition based on the aggregated column. Clear? So what is the difference between where clause and having clause? Both of them are going to eliminate the rows. That is a similarity. But what is the difference? So where clause is going to filter the data before a group by or aggregation. So having clause is going to be filtering the data after group by and aggregation. And having clause will have only 5 aggregate functions here. Either sum, min, max, average, and count star. Clear? You cannot say where branch ID equals to something like this, or you cannot say where C balance is equivalent to C balance is not an aggregated, column. So C balance, sum of C balance is aggregated column. Clear? So definitely you must be able to understand like this. You cannot write alias in this. So I cannot go and give my alias. So it is not going to work. Clear? So alias cannot work here. Alias can work only in the order by clause. If you say order by, you can say sum of C balance ascending order. Okay, or you can have a descending order. You can have like this, or instead of that, you can also say total balance. Alias also can be used. Okay, alias also can be used. If you don't specify anything, when you execute it, it is giving you alias. Okay, it giving you in ascending order. So in order by clause, you can use alias, but not in the having clause. Am I clear? So that is very, very important thing you must know clearly. So people may ask you lot of questions like this. Branch wise total amount in the month of January. Provide details if amount exceeds 5,000. So branch wise means, so this is the query, month of January, month of DO is equivalent to 1, or you can say date part comma DO equals to 1. So after that you need to have having sum of balance greater than 5,000. Clear? Filter, aggregate again filter. So this is my data. So 12133, and this is a transaction table. This is the query. So what is the query? What is the table name? Transaction master. So branch ID, sum of amount. So what I am trying to do, I'm trying to go to this table and where branch ID in branch BR1 and branch BR2. First, where clause is going to be applied. BR1, BR2, BR2, BR1, BR3 data got eliminated. Have you seen first filter clause, that is where clause applied? Have you seen this? Now, after where clause is applied, I told you group by is going to happen. Group by means BR1 is one group, BR2, BR2 one group, and summing is also going to happen. That is what is called group by and aggregation. BR1 10, BR1 10, 10 plus 10 20, BR2, 40 and 50, 90, group by and aggregation. The second one is happened, but I don't need this data. I'm saying having sum of amount greater than 50, having clause is applied. After aggregation, I'm saying if the sum of amount is greater than 50, show me. So final result is branch BR2. This is one filter and this is one filter. In between you have group by and aggregation. Clear? So you need to understand the filter and aggregation, and if you wanted to filter. So the first filter is applied with the help of a where clause. Second filter is applied with the help of a having a clause. Have you seen? Having clause is going to come if there is a group by and aggregation. If group by is not there, aggregation is not there, then in having clause is not going to come at all. Clear, guys? So this is very, very important thing. Okay, this is a completely invalid query. So what is the query? Branch wise total amount in the month of October, provide details if branch equals to BR2. So the query is, read this query. Branch wise total amount in the month of October. Branch wise means in the month of October. Month of October means you can say date part comma do is equivalent to October. It is the this data. I have some data. I need more data. In which month we have a lot of data? I'm just checking. Okay. So instead of October, I'll take July. Okay. Some data I'm going to be taking. So month wise, in the month of July, provide details, branch wise total amount. I go here branch wise. So branch wise and a total amount. Will this work? So apart from aggregate, so any column you have that has to be there in the group by clause. Otherwise, it is not going to work. So group by branch ID. So it is giving you branch wise total amount. This is fine. But I'm saying after this, provide details if branch equals to BR2. Only they need branch BR2 data. So what I can do, I can go and write like this because branch is equivalent to BR2 because it is not an aggregated column. I will be able to get only BR2 data. Unfortunately, there is no BR3. Let me give you BR4. Okay, because if you see this data, there is no BR2 in this. BR2 is missing. So instead of BR2, let me say BR3 or something. I can filter some data with the help of this clause because it is a normal column only. It is not an aggregated column. Okay, but you can also write the same query by putting having branch ID is equivalent to BR3. This is also perfectly fine. But now this is also giving the same data. And when you execute it, you're able to get all the data, but you need only BR3 sales. Okay, it is also giving this, and or you can also write like this. Instead of using, you can also write like this. Anything is fine. Okay, so let me write both queries. This is one query. one more query, I will be able to write like this. And this query, let me remove highlight. So when you execute it, you will be able to see the same number here. So here I'm going to be using this query. But which query is recommended? So both of them, it is going to go here and filter BR3 data, then it is going to aggregate it. It is aggregating all the data, then filtering for BR3 data. Which query is recommended? Definitely, this query is recommended. This query is not recommended. Why? Because I told you clearly, even though it is filtering, because having clause can be used if there is a group by clause and aggregate function. So I'm saying I can use this, but I told you clearly having should have either sum or min or max or average, not the columns like this, because these columns you can put them in the where clause. Where clause will filter the data before grouping by itself. Clear? You need not bring all the data till this. Then you cannot say, I need only BR3 data, I need only BR6 data. So why are you getting all the data and saying, I need only BR3? You're saying your mother, I need pizza, I need burger, I need everything. Then after that, you're saying, I don't want to eat burger, I need only the pizza. Then if that is the case, why are you getting all the data and why are you grouping everything at the end? Why are you, filtering them? Why are you filtering this branch BR3 at the last? Because that can be done before itself, right? Because BRID can be filtered at the where clause itself because it is not an aggregated column. So you applied two clauses. One is called BRID is equals to BR3 and a month equals to 7. You will be able to filter the data, then group the data, then sum. Okay. So definitely this query is not recommended even though it is working fine. Clear? Because in having clause, I should have only 5 columns. What are they? Count star, sum, min, max, average, and that's it. Only these things have to be there, but not direct columns like this. If you wanted to filter the data on the direct columns, you better keep them in the where clause itself. Clear? So even though this query is working, because if there is a group by clause and aggregate function, you can filter the data. You can give any column and filter the data, but this is not the purpose of having clause. Having clause is going to be used to filter aggregated columns data. So on this column, if you wanted to filter something, then better you can just go there and use it. Clear? But not on this, columns which are coming from the table itself. Branch ID, or DO columns are directly coming from the table, and you can filter the data before group by itself. Clear, guys? So this is also one more important thing. So this is completely irrelevant and wrong query, but you're able to get the data. There is no problem at all. So what is the difference between where clause and having clause? Where clause, it will filter rows before aggregation. Having clause, it will filter rows after aggregation. It is used when there is an aggregation and group by. If there is no aggregate function and group by clause, having clause must not be used. Clear? What are the similarities between where and having? Both of them are used to eliminate rows. That is a similarity. But the difference is before aggregation, before group by, where is going to be executed, and after group by and aggregation, having clause is going to be executed. Clear? So having clause should have only 5 columns: sum, min, max, average, count star. Only these columns have to be there in the having clause. So not having product equals to FD. So like that you must not write in your having clause. Clear, guys? And this is the complete syntax of query. Okay, whether you go to Oracle, whether you go to MySQL, any RDBMS tool, when you learn, these are the complete clauses. Select from where, group by, having, and order by. So you must use same sequence. You cannot use different sequences. You cannot write from first, then after where, then after that from. So you cannot change the sequence of these clauses, and these are very important that you must use. Select list into new table name. What is into new table name? We'll discuss. From in the from clause, you can have a table list where such condition, group by and column list. Having again such condition, order by order list, ascending or descending. So this is the complete select statement syntax whenever you go to Oracle or MySQL anywhere. So SQL will not change. SQL will be as it is. The syntax will not change. The query writing will not change. The group by will not change. Having clause will not change. Nothing will change. Clear? So this is the complete select statement syntax that you should know clearly, and you need to follow same order. Now, what is this into new table name? Let me write and show you. I'm executing some data. For example, I'm getting some data like this. I'm getting some data. Let me remove this. I'm getting a lot of data. You assume that you have a lot of data in this table. Lot of data means, let us say, you have 10 million rows in this table, right? I wanted to say month of July sales. Now we are in month of January. Okay. So probably it is last year July sales. That is what is I wanted to have. You assume like that. Okay. It is last year July sales I had it. So this is already over data. Now, I have 1 million data or 2 million data. When I execute this query, now you can see the data in fraction of milliseconds. But in the real time, do you think that you will get the data in milliseconds? No, because when you have millions of data, even though you have hi-fi servers, it will take no more than 2 to 3 minutes, or it will be more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes also, depends upon the data available. Clear? We are going to be applying a where clause. See, when you have a 10 million data, it has to go row by row, row by row, row by row, row by row, and filter, right? If we have 10 million data, 10 million rows it has to scan through. Clear? It is scanning through lot of data. Afterwards, it is going to grouping them, and after that it is going to be summing. Then it has to display. When you have a large amount of data, this query will become very slow, because whenever I click on execute button, it is not giving me the data quickly. Why? Because of so much of data is available on the table. Let it take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What I'm going to do, because it is last July sales, I would like to get it. So I wanted to get this data into a new table I'm going to be creating. I'll say the table name is branch wise total balance. Okay. So this is a table name I'm giving. So now see this. What you need to give? You need to give into new table name. What is new table name? Branch wise total balance. It may take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Then the complete result set is going to go to this table. Okay. This table will get created automatically. You give the table name, click on execute button. Now 8 rows are affected. Now what is happened? There is a table got created. All the data is gone to this table. Now you can execute this. Now what is the advantage? Because if you don't dump the result set into a table, it is a permanent table. You can simply go to iBank database, refresh, you will be able to see this table. See this table, branch wise total balance. This is permanent table gets created. What is the advantage? Because you know that every time when I'm clicking on this query, it is giving me, it is taking 5-10 minutes. So again, after some time, if I execute this query, it will take again 5 to 10 minutes. I am irritating. So even though you're irritating, you cannot do anything because you have so much of data in the table. So what we do, we put all this data into all this, result set into one more table. Next time, second time, you call this table. When you call this table, aggregations are done and you have this data in this table, right? So instead of executing this query multiple times and getting irritated, what we can do, you dump the result set into one table. So what is advantage now? It is going to give you just like that because already aggregated, and this is a completely summary. Summary, you're able to keep them in a separate table. So next time you need not go to this query because these values will not change. Why? Because last year July is done. So last year July data, nobody is going to be updating, right? For example, think about the sales of Amazon.com. Last year Christmas sales, they wanted to get it. So what they do, they'll say date part Christmas means 12th month, right? Or they'll say Thanksgiving and this one. So they'll say uh, in 11 and 12. So these 2 months data, they wanted to see the sales. Clear? So it is also for the last year. So they'll say and date diff, YY and DO. Last year means what? Current year means 0. Last year means 1. Clear? So these are the two things. It will go to the last year. And after going to last year, date diff. Oh, sorry. It is get data also I need to give. Okay. Now, last year data, I wanted to get it. So it will give you last year, January and this sales. So it may have 1 million, 2 millions, transaction would have been happened. So that summary, I wanted to see it. So what I do, I wanted to say into last Christmas, okay, Christmas underscore sales. That's it. I create this and I will be able to see the data quickly like this. Select star from the last Christmas sale. This query will give you better performance. This query will give you better performance because this is going to be already aggregated data kept in this. You go there and get the data. You're not going to aggregate. You're not going to again going to the base table and taking the row by row, taking the row by row and aggregating it, filtering it and putting it, and it is waste of time. So what I'm going to be doing, I can simply keep this data into one more table. And somebody asks me, I will be able to give them this table. You go to this table and see the data. So this is the branch wise or country wise. They would like to have the sales. Country wise, state wise, they would like to see. They would like to have the sales for last Christmas in for Amazon people. So whatever be the query they wanted to have it, they'll execute the query. They dump the data into one table. Clear? So this is what is very important. Clear? So we can have this. What is advantage? So every time I need not again go through the entire table and get the data and show the data to the customers. What normally we do, for example, I wanted to make a ginger paste. What I do, ginger and garlic paste, I wanted to make it. Every time you're not going to be making it, right? Take the ginger and garlic and you completely clean it, you grinding it and keep the ginger and garlic paste in your fridge. So what is the advantage? Next time if you want to use it, you need not go through all the process. Already you have kept ginger and garlic paste in your fridge and just go there and use it. So but first time if you wanted to make the paste, it will take more than 1 hour because you wanted to make 1 kg of ginger and 1 kg of garlic paste, and you wanted to make it, it may take 1 or 2 hours together. But afterwards you're not going to be making ginger and garlic paste every time. You wanted to keep them in a fridge and later you can use them. This is what is called reusability. And you're very fast also. Clear? First time the chef is very slow because he has to make all the paste for the you know for the preparation. But next time he need not do anything because already he prepared lot of items and keeping them in a freezer. Clear? So something like this. First time you're going to be aggregating the data, keep the data in your separate tables, and these tables are permanent tables. These are there. Okay, you can say last Christmas sales, last year Christmas sales. So they can say this data. So this is the data. If they wanted to see only for where branch equals to BR1. So they can filter whatever they wanted to have. BR1 data only they wanted to have it. So they should be able to go, and this is aggregated data that they can see. So what is the advantage? They need not to go to all this, pain. Pain means they need not, go to this table and write this query. And unfortunately, the problem is more, data is available in this table because of the execution time is more. When the execution time is more, the performance of the query is very, very, slow. When the performance of the query is very, very slow, the customer, the Amazon people going to call the technical team, and they say it is irritating for us. I wanted to see the sales, and you have given me a query. You said me that, you're telling me that I need to click on this button. I'm clicking on, but that button is taking a lot of time. Whenever I click on a button, the button is saying last year Christmas sales. There is a button in the website. So the manager of Amazon clicking on that button. So the button is having a query. The query is being executed on the fly. What happens now? It will take a lot of time, lot of performance issues. Then the customer will definitely will get irritated, and immediately he will call you and he will give you completely bad things, right? So he will not be happy with your development. So what you do? You create one table, and this table you give it to them. So when they click on this button, so this is not the query will get executed. This query will get executed. So they want to have some other things. They will be able to see the data like that. Clear? So definitely into keyword is much more useful, and it is going to be storing the data because it is last year Christmas data. Nobody is going to be modifying the data. It is not, current month data or today's sales data. Last year is over. It is historical data. These numbers will not change. Historical data. Last year Christmas sales, can you modify it? You will not be able to modify it, right? So it is historical data. You can keep the data permanently in a separate tables. Clear? So that is the purpose we can use into. So this is a permanent table. If I wanted to create a temporary table, can I create a temporary table? Why not?
That
Clear? For
query.
example, yeah, tell me any query.
Yeah. About the date, can you explain the, I'm a little confused on this one. It gives you the month of November and December, right?
Yeah, it
This
will give
one.
you, you think like this. It will go to it will go to previous month, previous year. Okay.
Okay.
If you don't want, if you are getting confused, always remember remove this and execute only this. This will give you all the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
This will give you all the data. You can also keep this column. Always remove everything and put these columns as year number. Okay. Age. This is age, right? It will give you age. Now you execute this. This is 1 year old account. It is 1 year old account because DO get date minus this will happen 1 year old account last year 2020. Have you seen this? Now it
Yeah.
is a current year account. It is a 10 years old account. So what I'm saying current year means zero. So when you execute it, you will be able to get the current year data. Clear? 2021 data. But I need last year data. Last year means you will be able to go to this. But I need this is last year date, right? So, but I need July, I have October, all these things I don't need it. And I'm saying and date part comma do in either this one and this one. Okay. I should be able to get only these 2 months data. When you execute it, you will be able to see these three. Have you seen this? Are you clear?
Yeah.
Now what I'm trying to do, I am trying to delete everything, grouping by branch ID, then sum of C balance as total. So this is the final query. Am I clear? So this will go to previous year, and within the previous year you will have 12 months, but I need only 11 and 12-month data. So I wanted to use in clause. In clause is equivalent to or clause, right? So, and this. So this may take a lot of time. So what I do, I wanted to dump this data into one more table. You can also have a temporary table into, for example, I can say Christmas sales underscore 2020. This is a permanent table if I give like this. If I put a hash, it will become a temporary table. Let me take this and execute. Clear? So all the data, aggregated data gone to this temporary table. Temp tables are created. Temp tables are created where? In a TempDB database. There is a database called a temporary DB database, and it is going to go there. So now this table is not available. When you refresh, you will not be able to see hash table in this. Let me open. You just browse through, scan through all these things. You will not be able to see this table. But where is this table available? It is available in a TempDB database. If you go to temporary tables, you can find your table in this. Clear? So when this table will get deleted, so this table is a permanent table. If you wanted to drop a table, drop table name. So this is how you should be able to drop the permanent table. So permanent table is dropped. I have branch wise sales. It is getting dropped. When you go and refresh, this table is going to be dropped. Clear? And I wanted to drop this table. You can also go and take the table name, and it's a drop table, temporary table name. So temporary table can be dropped like this. Okay, so this is also can be dropped. When you drop this is showing, right? If you go to TempDB and refresh, now you go, temporary table is not available. Now when you try to execute this, it will give you the table is not available. Clear? Invalid object name. Have you seen this? So let me create this table once again and created. Now this temporary table gets created now in TempDB database. Now you can see this table. Now, if I close this connection, I'm not dropping anything. I'm closing this connection. When I close the connection, what will happen? TempDB tables are dropped automatically. Clear? If the connection is live, connection is available. So when you click on a new query, the connection will get created. Okay. When you write something, for example, I'm copying, pasting in something here. Clear? If I execute this temporary table gets created. Now, okay, I wanted to use iBank database. This temporary table gets created. Now you should be able to see the data. But as long as I am there, this table will be there. If I close this connection, and what happens? This is gone. Clear? But these tables are not like that. These tables are permanently will be there. So last Christmas sales will be there. Even though you close all connections, you shut down the computer, the permanent tables are available. So that is the difference between a temporary table and what? A normal permanent table. Clear? So what is the purpose of into keyword? Into keyword is going to be putting the result set of a query into a temporary table, or you can also place them in the permanent table. Clear? Sometimes I wanted to simply create a backup table, account master table. So the same table I would like to create into, I'll say account master backup table, backup taken on, let us say January 22nd, 2021. I am going to be creating one more table. All the data is dumped onto this table. You will have a backup table like this. Now you see one more table gets created. Now we can see the data. You can remove them, or you can also use dvo dot nothing will happen. This query you can execute it. if you see this table and this table are similar. If you see this, clear, because all the data you're dumping into new table, you're having them total 64 rows into this, right? So there is no difference at all between the first table and the second table. This is a backup to this table we have taken on 22 uh, today. Clear? People may ask you, what is the difference between original table and this table you have created with the help of into keyword? Is there any difference? Yes, there is a difference. The database, there is no difference. If you go to the original table and you see the columns, this is the account ID is the primary key. This is a foreign key. A lot of things are available. But if you go to this table and if you go to columns, no symbols are available. Have you seen this? There is no primary key, foreign key symbols are available in this. So people may ask you, what is the difference? So no constraints will get created. Only the data will be taken. No constraints, no primary keys, no foreign keys, no check consent, nothing will be available. Only the column names and data will get copied into the new table. This is very, very important interview question. People would ask you, if I use into keyword and if I take a backup of the same table and if I dump all the data to the new table, so what is the difference between new table and old table? Old table will have primary key, foreign key, check consents and everything. New table will not have any foreign keys, any primary keys, any check consents. It is going to have only the data, nothing else. Clear? So data you will be able to see as it is, but otherwise there is no primary keys, foreign keys. So that's what you need to tell. So people may ask one more question. I wanted to create a blank table. If you wanted to drop this table, drop table, table name. So you cannot do anything, any other thing. Permanent table. So you should be able to drop this. Gone. People may ask you, I wanted to create a blank table as account master. So I write where account ID is equivalent to 101. You will get one row minimum. But if you give, because you don't have account number one, if I give account number is one, so account number is one is not there. You are getting a blank column. Have you seen? There is no data in this. Okay. When you write a false condition here, you will be able to get the blank row. When I say 1 equals to 2, always it is a false condition. If it is a true, you will get minimum the one row. But you are not going to get any data because this condition is false condition always, right? Where 1 equals to 2, I say into, I create one more table, AM, a new table I'm going to be creating. Now you see, you can see one more blank table will get created and this blank table will not have any data, but you should be able to see all the columns. Now you see, you can create a blank tables as well without writing select, create a table, table name, and instead of writing that, you can create a blank table. So AM new is a table, so you can see the columns and everything, account ID, name, address, BRID, but there is no data in this. Clear? So if you wanted to create a only the structure without having data, you can give a condition like this. Some false condition you can give and write the table name. The structure is available. This is a permanent table. It is a permanent table. If you wanted to drop again, you can drop it. If you want to create a temporary table, you can put hash. That's it. When you put hash, it will become a temporary table. Then it's going to to be, it will get created in the tempdb database. So as soon as you close the connection, all temp tables will be removed from the tempdb database. So that is what is temporary means. Clear? So how to create a blank tables without a data, that also we had seen. And what is the purpose of into, we had discussed. And what is a temporary table, and what is a permanent table, and what is the use of into keyword, we understood clearly. So if you have any questions, you're welcome. So tomorrow we don't have class, and today we are going to be having MSBA demo at 8 a.m. AST. If you wanted to attend, you can attend that batch. Clear? Otherwise, we'll be continuing from Monday SQL classes. Any other questions, guys?
Sir, what is the reason to create the blank structure?
Tomorrow, I wanted to insert some data probably later, or I would like to use this blank table to store the historical data from one table. Whatever be the reason, forget about it. I would like to create a blank structure and keep it clear. And you can create a blank structure like this, and with the help of using a source table. Am I clear?
Okay.
Sir, can we use the limit statement in the SQL?
No, there's no limit.
I mean, in the SQL statement, we are using limit 10 after the to get the certain
And that
records.
is not there.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, guys? Okay, thank you, guys.